Hey everyone, it's Greg from Stationary Shenanigans. In this video, I'm going to talk about a notebook that I've never seen before that I actually got at Barnes & Noble. A while back, I did a video about how Barnes & Noble actually stocks a lot of Kokuyo products now, especially the campus notebooks. And I was recently in at Barnes & Noble and I saw this item called Logical Air by the company Nakabayashi. That sounds familiar, the company name, but I could just be thinking of something else. I have never seen this before, and I was excited to buy one to try out, and we can see how it looks. So Barnes & Noble has really stepped up their stationery game in general. Even when I got this notebook, I saw a Italian-made notebook. I forget what I should have took a picture of it, honestly, but I was so excited about this that I wasn't really thinking. But if you go into like the journal and sketchbook, or I'm sorry, just the journal section, they've really stepped up their game. I feel like they used to only carry just, like the paper blanks or Moleskine or Lloydstrom notebooks, or just like those, old-fashioned leather cover ones, but now they're carrying all different kinds of notebooks and planners. So if you have a Barnes & Noble near you and you're itching to look at some stationery items, definitely check out their notebook section because they keep stocking these interesting things. So I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit. So this is called Logical Air Swing Notebook. And like I showed you, there's the brand name. It is A, which I guess maybe, I'm not sure what the A means, 7mm B580 sheets. And the ruling, I don't know the exact name of this ruling. I always thought it was French rule, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It has a date on the top corner, and it has different dotted lines, which is just different and interesting to me. To compare this to a Kokuyo campus notebook, it's the same size, but as you can see, the Logical Air is much thicker with, I believe, almost triple the number of sheets. It is also made in Japan, and the price for this was $6.99. Now, I feel like that is a very fair price for a Japanese-made notebook, and if you are a Barnes & Noble member, you would get the 10% off of this, just like other items in store. So, one thing that stood out to me is when you open the front of the notebook, it gives you examples on how to use it and how to use the lines on the paper. I meant to Google Translate this before I started filming, but I was just too excited that I forgot to. So you can kind of get the gist. They give you different ways to try out things, especially showing you how the dots, the grid, and the lines in it can make things easier for like drawing charts and to organize things in different columns. So you have like your to-do list and maybe like bullet journal size, where one of the columns you could put different icons. Shows you how you can draw graphs, how you can make bigger columns, maybe like expense sheets. And I believe this one is a numbering one. So I thought that was interesting to kind of give you an idea, because most Americans, I would say, are probably unfamiliar with this style of paper. Now, campus notebooks from Kokuyo do come in a lot of different ones. I generally go for just the regular lined ones. That is 6mm, but I do also have a black campus notebook that is in grid. So my Barnes & Noble had it in this gray color and a navy blue color, and I really just decided that the gray was speaking to me, so that's what we went with. And yeah, so I figured what we could do is do some pen tests with different writing implements that I have in front of me, with 3 fountain pens and a few others, and see how the paper fares. And I've said this before, but Kokuyo branded paper is my absolute favorite of all times. For any writing implement, I feel like it's the smoothest. To me, it's like the unsung hero. A lot of people are pro Tomoe River, which I get, but Kokuyo is just what I love. So I'm gonna zoom in, and we're just gonna open up to the middle and do some pen tests. It does lay flat, which is very nice. As you can see, I'm in the middle of the notebook and it lays flat. I just love that. So let's start with some of the fountain pens. In my last live, I talked about how the Waterman Serenity Blue ink I've been using in my Lamy All-Star seems to be really wet, and it's smeared all over in my Traveler's Notebook. So I don't know if it's just the Traveler's Notebook paper or it was me or whatever, but that is just a lessons learned. So let's go ahead and see how this shows up on the Logical Air. Might just be my pen. I'm noticing that my pen is skipping. I'm wondering if that's the paper or if that's me. So let's try it. My Kokuyo. No, it's not skipping on the Kokuyo. Interesting. So the smoothness, yeah, there is a little bit of a difference in the smoothness, and I'm only comparing it to Kokuyo because I feel like when I actually saw this in the store, I thought it was a Kokuyo item at first. It just kind of has that same look to it. So maybe the paper is a little bit rougher. Yeah. Let's see about drying time. Okay, it seems to dry pretty quickly, but it's definitely rough. Okay, so that was the Lamy All-Star in a medium nib. Now let's go ahead and try my Tatcha fountain pen from the Pinnacle collection. This has the green Oguisu ink in it still, because I love green. A little bit of skipping. And let's compare it to the Kokuyo again. Yeah, no skipping on the Kokuyo. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have to already call it that the Logical Air is not really fountain pen friendly. Let's go ahead and try our Sailor fountain pen, which is just inked up with a regular black cartridge. I'll try on this side. This is very smooth. Oops, sorry, can't see that. So for some reason, the Sailor is working very nicely on these pages. I don't know if it's the nib style or what, but this is turning out to be a fun experiment. And then let's try some non-fountain pen writing implements. Probably for this kind of notebook, I like to take it with me and do a lot of writing or take notes at work, so I probably wouldn't use a fountain pen as much in this. So first up, let's just try a Jetstream, which I swap out the nib and put a 1.0. Very smooth as expected. Jetstream's kind of like my go-to. Can never be disappointed. And let's try the Staedtler Stick, which is just a blue ballpoint pen. I love Staedtler products, and someday they will sponsor me. It writes very smoothly, but I'm not sure if it's the paper or just Staedtler pens, ballpoint pens write very smoothly in general. All right, we're just gonna go to another page. Yeah, just like on the Kokuyo one. So, very nice. And then I want to try a lei pen in this blue. I love lei pens. One reason why I also love them is because they're pretty easy to find. You can find them at like Michael's and Joann's. Ooh, it writes very nice on this. A little bit more. Yeah. And let's see the fast. Lei pen does need a little bit more drying time on this. Okay. Last but not least, because I want to try a little bit of everything, let's go ahead and try a Pilot Friction in blue, and I believe this is the needlepoint one, which is probably, this is 0.5. I'm curious to see how it will erase. Okay, or how it will write too. Okay, it's not really coming out here. Probably me again. No, it's the pen. This must be empty or dry. Actually, could this be empty? No, it's not empty, so forget that happened. Let's try one I picked up at Kinokuniya in December. This is the Pilot Friction in 0.7. So it's not like a needle tip. Okay, this one's working. So it was the pen, my bad. Okay, that's just the Kokuyo, and I want to try it for comparison. Sorry about the shaking. Okay, it erases great. And let's try it on the logical air here. Okay. See that? And pretty much as expected on the logical air. So we've tried a bunch of different items here. I will say for the price, it is definitely a good purchase if you want to try a lay flat notebook. That's a little bit different than maybe what you're normally using. Not as smooth paper-wise. If you're looking for smoothness, stick with Kokuyo Campus line, but to have something in store that's authentic and Japanese and local without having to buy it online, this is a great choice. So that is the Logical Air notebook. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Take care.